Hi, my name is Henry James Beck, and I am a Client Relationship Officer for Healy Consultants Group, and I'm based out of our Dubai office. In this video, I wanted to talk about an engagement we recently completed for a client in Mauritius. Our client focuses on making personal investments for the individual shareholders of the parent company. They make these investments through limited liability entities in low tax jurisdictions. Our client contacted Healy Consultants Group because they needed a new management company for their two global business companies, or GBC, entities within Mauritius. These two GBC entities held a number of important investments for our client. They contacted us because they were having difficulties with their existing Mauritian management company, and they urgently needed our assistance to transfer in a new management company, as well as help them resolve outstanding liabilities that they needed to settle with the Mauritian government. I explained to the client when I first spoke to them that before we would be able to do any transferring, we would need to first understand the state of the two companies they wanted us to transfer in, which included doing a file inspection with the Mauritius Financial Services Commission, or FSC, which is the government entity in Mauritius that licenses the GBC companies. Our client, after I explained everything to them, I gave them our fees and the timelines we expected to complete the engagement within. They confirmed that they wanted to proceed, and so I prepared an official proposal for them. Once our client had formally engaged us, provided us with a signed engagement letter, the due diligence we required, and settled the fee for us to complete the file inspection, we engaged our local partner in Mauritius, it's a local management company that is licensed by the Financial Services Commission within Mauritius. We engaged them to complete the file inspections of these two GBC entities, and it wasn't before too long that the local agent had discovered there were many filings that had not been filed, as well as penalties that were pending for up to 2 years. And these are all things that needed to be resolved before the companies would be in good standing. Once we understood the full scope of work after we had done the inspections, I had a call with the client and I explained to him everything that needed to be done. And at this point, the client informed us that they also wanted us to provide them with directors in Mauritius, as well as make some changes to the corporate structure for them. Following this call, I prepared a final invoice for their settlement and sent it through to them. The client shortly afterwards settled this first installment because they urgently needed the companies to be in good standing, and we got started with the engagement. Before too long, we had prepared it was essentially a resignation letter that needed to be signed by the existing management company, as well as the appointment letter for our local partner to become our client's management company within Mauritius. We also prepared the documents to change the company secretary, update the registered address, appoint the new directors, and change the corporate structure. These documents were sent through to our client for their signature and action, and the client rapidly responded with the required signed documents. They sent us scans, and we requested that they hold them to the originals until we needed them couriered to Mauritius. Once the Mauritius FSC had confirmed that our local partner in Mauritius had been appointed as the management company for our client's GBC entities, we were able to officially begin interacting with them to resolve the outstanding filings that needed to be done, as well as settle the penalties that our client had due. Some of the late filings, for example, were audited financial statements for both companies that hadn't been filed in 2 years, and because they hadn't been filed, there'd been late penalties racked up for that. So Healy Consultants, in conjunction with our local partner in Mauritius, began compiling a list of documentation we needed our client to provide us with in order to meet these obligations with the FSC, as well as calculating the total the total outstanding penalties that they needed to settle with us so that we could pay that over to the FSC. Once we received all the required documentation from our client, we immediately filed them, and we awaited the FSC to inform us if there were any additional penalties because of the date that we had filed them. Once we received from the FSC the complete final penalty amount to be paid, we requested the same from our client, and the client transferred it to us, and we transferred it straight to the FSC. Once the FSC informed us the companies were all outstanding obligations had been filed and penalties paid, we were able to renew the GBC entities' tax certificates, as well as file the annual general meeting and board meetings, which is a mandatory requirement in Mauritius. Once this had been filed, both of our clients' GBC entities were now in good standing, and they could continue conducting without the FSC's intervention. It was a long engagement, mostly because there were a lot of documentation that the client needed to compile, which took a considerable amount of time from their end. There were including 2 years of audited financials for 2 different companies. We need to prepare annual general and board meetings for the 2 years, and this had, in total, the engagement took us about 15 months to complete. And the largest delays was just the time it had taken to prepare all these documents. The client had to prepare these documents for the FSC. By the end of the engagement, however, the client was happy. They had requested that we provide them with ongoing support services in Mauritius, and we hope to keep them happy for a longer period of time, and that they continue using our services. If you require Healy Consultants Group to provide you any support services in any global jurisdiction, please feel free to contact Healy Consultants through our website or via email, or you can give us a call on any of the numbers listed in our website. Thank you.